Hey everybody, it's Chris here from Better Music, and I'm here today with my mate Brian from the UK. He's from Arturia.
Hi Chris, how you doing?
Good, thanks Brian. Is that a slight French accent I'm detecting?
None whatsoever, no.
Just checking. We're looking at the Drumbrute Impact, the new, smaller, gnarlier brother or sister to the Drumbrute. So it's a brutier brute in some respects.
It is. It's a very different sounding Drumbrute to the Drumbrute itself. So Drumbrute Impact, totally different sound sources. It's a bit edgier, it's a bit nastier, it's got a bit more grit to it. So the original Drumbrute has been made to have nice, clean sounds, a little bit aggressive, with loads of outputs that you can take out into external effects to process it up. This kind of has it all in one. Like I say, different sound sources, sounds totally different. So the two of them will work quite nicely together.
And smaller.
It's got a smaller format to this as well. So we've got less outputs than Drumbrute, but you can still do a heck of a lot
And
with that.
still all analog?
Completely analog. Absolutely everything in the circuitry is analog.
Run us through some features, if you know them.
I do know him. Probably the first place to start is just to go through the sounds so you can hear the attitude this has got. So we'll start off with the kick drum. So nice short decay. Play around with the pitch, but listen to this decay.
I think that, wow. Yeah,
that's long. That's pretty
and it was too low for computer speakers there to start with.
Yeah, definitely. We've got two snares on this one. Snare one.
Oh, okay.
And also nice long decay with a sizzle at the end.
Okay.
And then we've got a snare two.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
So you can do a nice little...
Yeah.
Then we've got a high tom and low tom.
Oh, okay.
And they share a channel. We've put the cymbal on there also.
Yeah.
Play around with the decay. And a cowbell, because you can never have enough cowbell.
You can't, especially those cowbells that sound like that cowbell.
Absolutely. You can do quite a lot with that in the rhythms, and I'll create a pattern later and you can hear what we're doing with that. Closed hi-hats, which are it's got a nice attack. They're quite harsh, but quite bright as well, which is very fun. And then open hi-hats. And of course you can choke them together like you would on proper hi-hats. So you can go...
Ooh, look who's got the groove.
That's me. And then we've also included an FM drum at the end, which is a nice little addition. You can use that in a percussive way, but also in a musical way.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. So, Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, so this can have its own step in its sequencer as well. I'll create a beat later on and you can hear sort of what that can do. So when it comes to the sounds, it's incredible. It's got real attitude. Everything works nicely together. So I'll quickly show you how to enter patterns into the sequence. So we'll start off with a kick drum. Let's find a nice, quick, usable sound. There are various ways to enter steps in this. So probably the easiest way is you just punch in where you want the steps to be. So easily pattern, 4 to the floor, 120 BPM. Let's put in
so pretty similar kind of sequencer to...
Very similar, we've certainly taken most of the aspects of that. It's a very powerful sequencer on the Drumbrute, so we've kind of taken that and put this into this one. Let's get some snare going. Okay, you want to add a second snare. We can use finger drumming on that one. So you put in the notes manually.
He's done this
and
before.
The third way to enter the notes, let's do the hi-hat. So instead of me doing finger drumming on that, I just want to use these breakdowns.
Oh, okay,
And there, I've got everything together. You can put steps in for all of the instruments that are on there. On the Drumbrute Impact, we've got a new feature called color. Now that essentially adds a second layer to the sound. So let me solo the kick drum And this is what you're going to hear. Just that. So it's the same kick drum going all the way throughout. Like with many other drum machines, you get the accent. So let's accent the first beat.
Yep.
Okay. And let's do the third beat as well. So you can hear you've got a nice bit of velocity going. In record mode, because these pads are all velocity sensitive, you can sort of hit it hard and harder, and that'll have a standard beat and an accented beat. What color does, it adds the second layer to that sound. So in orange here, we've got on the kick drum, we add drive. Snare 1, it adds extra body. Snare 2 turns that into a clap.
Oh, okay.
So very easy to do is you hit color and then the step that you want color to be on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now let's play back and listen what that's done. So you can hear it's added drive to that, or we turn up the decay. So you can hear.
Okay.
It's got a nice bit of drive.
And so that bit of drive, is that just a default?
It is.
That just happens on the kick.
Exactly. Yeah, so that one is just on the kick.
Yes, yes.
But because we've got a standard velocity and the accented velocity, so let's add the color to just the standard. So we added that color to the accented beat. So let's add color to the standard beat. So by holding down color, you can see where you've applied color.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So really what we've got here is we've got a standard velocity beat with no color. We've got a standard velocity beat with color. We've got an accented beat, and we've got an accented beat with color. So already, just on one instrument, you've got 4 different things going on at the same time. And that's even before you start playing around with the decay and the pitch. So if we solo that, let's have a listen what we've got. So you can hear the 4 different layers at play. So if we...
And of course, that distortion's reacting a little bit differently because of the reduced velocity.
Exactly, it will do. It's kind of less aggressive on that one. And the same with the snare. So let's take snare 2, add color to that hit, and we can solo that.
Oh yeah, it's pretty subtle, but it's pretty...
Yeah. And you can have that on everything. It's quite fun to do that on the FM drum. So let's select FM drum, put in a few hits there. This, as it says in the orange here, if you apply color to FM drum, it changes the pitch envelope. So that's what it's going to sound like. And let's add color to the last step there. And then you can play around with the... So you can have it like a nice little percussive, put in a few extra patterns there.
Yeah, no, it's very cool, very cool. So it really is quite conducive to tweaking on the fly, and you know, it's not you don't really want to just hit play and that's your drums.
No, we're trying to get people to be hands-on with this thing. There's no screen with a scroll button to look for the second layers. If you want to do something, everything is right there. So what I'll quickly do is erase the pattern that I've made. So I've clicked erase. Anything that's flashing can be erased, either an individual instrument or even the whole pattern. So I'll delete that pattern there. Very quickly, I'll just put some new steps in there, go over to snare, and then get my hats going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's go back to that kick and add a bit of color on. So what we've managed to do on this is add a distortion to the master as well. Now with a guitar signal, it's really just one signal going through a distortion pedal into an amplifier. on the Drumbrute Impact, we've got 10 separate instruments all at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
So our product guys have managed to put a distortion on here that affects everything without really affecting the levels too much.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of compressing on the way.
Kind of a little bit, yeah. It's adding the distortion on the master, and depending on the settings as well, you can play around with that quite nicely. So let me give you an example. So we switch it on, and we turn it up slightly.
Yeah, yeah.
You see there, and we're not even at halfway yet. So for the sake of demonstrations, let's turn it up full and you can hear the effect.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
So if we turn the level of the kick down, you can hear it's distorting the snare and the hats quite a bit more.
It sounds like it's working a bit differently to just sticking a tube screamer over the output.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been designed specifically to have.
It seems like it's reacting with different frequencies.
It is, yeah. If you want to take it sort of a little bit golden era hip hop, which is kind of filtered down a little bit, you have it just over there. If you want to turn it from a nice, clean, new order beat into a Nine Inch Nails beat straight away, you can just turn it up. And then the play around with the different levels just to find really the sweet spot of everything. So to take that even further, of course, you've got your master output. So if you wanted to take everything through a tube screamer or a delay pedal, you can.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But at the back, we've got 4 individual outputs. So you can have just your kick going out, the 2 snares together, the hats and the FM drum. Each one's got its own output. So what I usually do is take the snares through a little bit of delay and then add reverb afterwards, just to give it a bit of movement. The FM drum, you can squeeze that through a compressor. You could take that through its own distortion or whatever pedals you got lying around in the spare room. And of course, it synchronizes very nicely to other external hardware. So all the people who are into Eurorack or modular gear, you can use this as the master or the slave, because it connects via USB, MIDI or clock. So you can take this clock out into, for example, the Mini Brute 2 or Mini Brute 2S or any analog equipment that's got CV connectivity on and clock on that, and it synchronizes very, very perfectly.
And I like, and there's actually a dedicated sync button.
There is the dedicated sync button, and that's also got a secondary feature as well. So, for example, some clock settings are slightly different on other equipment. The Korg Volkers have their own clock setting. A whole bunch of other older equipment have their own settings. So if you want to change the settings of that, so that's currently set to Volkers and a few other instruments, you can control it just by holding sync and turning this button. So you don't have to go to the software on the computer to control it. You can just do that in real time straight from there. So it's a very hands-on unit. The metronome obviously is very useful as well, which has got its own volume control.
So
you can hear that click going on. You can change the speed of the metronome as well. So from quarters to eighths, 16s, 32s, 8 triplets as well.
It actually sounds quite cool.
It's a different sort of click. It's a nice,
especially doing that little pattern you did there.
Well, you can use that in kind of a musical way as well, almost as a room shot or
Well, that's what I thought you were doing. Now I thought you were just being inspired.
Of course. If that was intended.
Does it polyrhythm?
It does polyrhythm, yes.
Yeah, because that's the other big Drumbrute thing.
Yes. So it's very easy to add polyrhythm. So let's take our favorite cowbell, and we see that we've got a hit on 9.
Yes,
And if we're playing this, it's going from 1 to 16 on every single track. But we want to have polyrhythm on the cowbell. Or any instrument. Let's use cowbell in the sake. So shift polyrhythm. That puts polyrhythm on. So shift has a blue circle, and that's controlling anything that's in blue. So polyrhythm is now on. We want to set the last step to 9, shall we say. You push the button that says last step,
Okay.
And you push 9.
And it's just there, and it's just there as a
it's
step.
Done.
Yep.
So if we play this back, you'll see it's only going to play from 1 to 9, while everything else is playing all the way 1 to 16. You can add in a few more.
Cool. It's
or
very
if you
cool.
want the last step to be 5, you can do that while you're playing live.
Yeah.
As well. Or you could have it go all the way up to 15. Whatever
awesome.
polyrhythm that you want.
Yeah.
But each individual instrument can have its own polyrhythm as well. So you'll see here that cowbell and cymbal share an instrument track.
Yeah.
But they've got totally separate step tracks.
Yeah.
So I can put my cymbal in there and set polyrhythm to that one. You see that's playing to 4, and cowbell is playing all the way to 15. Yeah, I did that before. So you can kind of create this movement and this tension. Something else that's quite nice is you can hear this is kind of mechanical, right? The kick and the snare are exactly on the beat. It's very, very quantized. What we can do is shift, in this case, the snare kind of left or right to give it a little bit more of a human feel.
Yeah.
So let's solo just those two. Okay, I want to shift this one slightly before the beat.
Yep.
If I put it there, it's going to be too much before the beat. It's not going to sound natural. If I push that down and turn swing to the left, let me turn it all the way to the left so you can hear the extremity of it. Okay, let's bring it back a little bit closer to the middle, about 20. And this one we can have after the beat. Let's push this all the way so you can hear the effect. So you can create some interesting things with that. You can do the same. It's really useful if you want to do it on hi-hats. So let's solo the hats. Okay, that's pretty nice. You can add swing just to the hat pattern.
Just to the hats.
Just to the hats. So if you want to do that, you select current track. That's the one selected, and you turn swing up.
Okay.
But what you want to do, especially with kind of like R&B or trap, is you want to put little rolls on that individual hit. That's quite easy to do. So in record mode, you hold your step and then the timing breakdown. So let's play that back.
Oh, okay.
So you get different timing breakdowns, quarters, eighths, sixteenths, or 32s on that hat. You can do that with your snare as well. So let's add, in record mode, timing breakdown to that snare.
Yeah, no, that's pretty
And then
cool.
if you add colour to that one as well, colour. So there's so many different layers that you can play with to get not only differences in pattern and human feel, but also playing around with the levels and the dynamics and the pitch and the decays of the sound. So it's quite a vicarious drum machine.
Well, unless you've got anything else to tell us.
There's plenty more. Really, the best thing to do is to get hands-on, to play around with it. You've got a whole bunch of patterns on here already, but of course, those are just to get you started. You can save your own patterns. We've got the MIDI control center, so if I create a sick beat and I think you're going to like it, I can email that across to you, and I'll say, Chris, let's write this new track. It's going to be a number 1.
So how do you email me the sick beat?
So what you do is
Sorry, we were going to finish up, but then he said sick beat.
But wait, there's more. Chris is excited, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm excited.
So it's got a USB connection that will connect to your computer, and that's got the MIDI control center on there. So you can really export any patterns onto your computer. You can save them on there.
So does that export them as MIDI?
Yes, that's the data, just the MIDI data.
So I could, if I wanted to experiment with some, say, software sounds or whatever, I could do that.
You could do that as well because it's MIDI. But really what you would do is you would import that pattern into your Drumbrute Impact, play around with the sounds, and you go, I wouldn't have created my drum beat that way. I quite like what you've done. Or if you didn't like what I've done, you would just shift them around. And you can actually shift them around in the MIDI control center as well. It's always nice just to add a little bit of movement from
that's
that
great.
side. Plus a whole bunch of other things. You know, have a quick look at the manual when you get one of these. They're in stock now with you guys. They cost $399 Australian dollars. So
he just got here yesterday. He's up with the currency. And he's almost got a little bit of Australian twang.
More time I spend with you, Chris, I'm going to have all the twang going on in the world.
Well, on that note, this is Chris here from Better Music, and I'm with my friend Brian from Arturia. And this has been the Drumbrute Impact. Bye.